What's good? What's the deal, YouTube? Coach Musa back at you with another video here on Coach Musa TV. Yep, today we got a banger for you guys. I'm going to talk about the 5 things I wish I knew before going into MMA, or I guess you could just say the 5 things that I've learned from my MMA fights, right? It's a little bit about me. I have had 3 amateur mixed martial arts fights. I have not had a lifetime of mixed martial arts training, but I did see a lot of success and really just like taking my time, really building out my foundation to where I really feel good. And now I'm coaching, right? So if you got any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. Go ahead, go ahead, subscribe, go ahead, share this video, get it out there. Let's go ahead and start growing the channel. And I will be doing a part 2. Stick around for that. And without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, number 1 on my list is gonna be cardio. Man, yeah, my coaches told me, but I didn't really know. I didn't really understand that there is levels to the cardio, right? It's a huge difference between like being able to run a couple miles and be able to grapple for 25 minutes, right? It's a huge difference between being able to like, I don't do jump rope and being able to throw like 100 punches in 1 minute, right? So you guys definitely want to diversify your cardio. The best way I could describe it is that you need high output cardio, right? So like, while there is a place for like so slow, sustained runs and stuff like that, you also want to be able to do high intensity type stuff. Like my best recommendation is going to Pilates and things like that, doing like exercises that have explosive movements. Maybe I'm running a sprint, and then right after my sprint, I hop down and do some burpees, do some push-ups, do some pull-ups, do some sit-ups. Then I get back out, shadow box for another 30 seconds without stopping, and then take off for another sprint. Those are the type of things that are gonna really incorporate all those like super fast twitch muscles and have your body really moving that oxygen around, keeping you flowing, right? So you're definitely gonna want to diversify your cardio and put however much you're doing cardio right now, just do like 3 to 5 times more. You'll be a-okay. All right, number 2 on my list is just learn the basics. The basics are what's gonna win fights, right? At the highest level, like at the highest level, when you're watching like black belts and like super high competitive, super successful fighters match up, they're just doing the basics. No one's really doing nothing too crazy, too flashy. It's basic footwork, it's basic head movement, it's basic combos and counters, right? You're not going too crazy, too outside of the box. There is a place for that, while you do want to have like your own set of style, own skill, but just learning the basics, right? If you don't know a little bit of basic wrestling, if you don't know a little bit of basic jujitsu, you don't know a little bit of basic, like maybe even judo, boxing, kickboxing, I wouldn't even be thinking about doing mixed martial arts yet, because everything's going to be incorporated. You might go against a person who his judo stats are maxed all the way out. You need at least the basics to be able to be still competitive, or, you know, vice versa with like a jiu-jitsu guy or something like that, right? If you don't know how to at least, you know, close your guard or stand up, wrestle back up, stuff like that, is going to be a huge issue for you. All right. Number 3 on my list is pick a good coach, right? So in the game of like mixed martial arts and stuff like that, whether it's boxing, kickboxing, whatever, you're definitely going to want to have a coach in your corner that you trust and that you can depend on, a coach that takes the time to really understand you, your style, your mindset as well. So when they're not talking to you and like giving you advice and giving you direction. They're not just saying the same thing that they would say to anyone else. They're really giving you what you need specifically. So you definitely want to take your time finding your coach, right? Not just every coach that thinks you got good technique and wants to take you somewhere is going to be the best coach for you. You really want to take your time, find the personalities that match, find the styles that match, and have a coach that wants what you want, right? If you're not looking to be the champion, you're just looking to get some skill and grow your technique, then you should be on the same page with your coach about that. If you are trying to be a champion, if you are trying to take the belt and be the best you can be in the sport, your coach should know that so that they can push you to that level, right? And so that's going to be super important, just knowing yourself, knowing your coach, having that good connection. That's going to be super duper important, right? Number 4 on my list, this actually kind of goes with the last one a little bit, but developing your own style, your own fight so that you could fight your own fight. That's going to be super important, right? So there's a huge difference between like my coach telling me, hey, do a 1, 2, 3, and me just like aimlessly, without really thinking about it, without really internalizing it, I just throw a 1, 2, 3. But there's a huge difference in when I really think about how I want to throw that 1, 2, 3, think about like my own distance, my own placement, and then I throw that 1, 2, 3 from a place where like I'm a lot more controlled, I'm a lot more comfortable, right? You don't want to just like take what the teacher's saying and just copy it, scribble it down word for word in your notes necessarily. You want to internalize it, and that way when you apply it, you're applying it at a much higher level. You could apply it a lot more technically. You can apply it with a lot more rhythm, a lot more understanding, and that way you're not forcing these things, right? So that's going to be super important, just developing your own style. Maybe for you, you feel like a lot more comfortable instead of entering with like a single jab, you like to enter with like a double jab usually, or, you know, when you throw your uppercuts, you almost like to twist them around a little bit to where it comes to like a little bit of a hook, but that's what feels more natural, more comfortable to you. As long as you're still, you know, doing what you got to do, staying tactical about it, I see no problem with that. I think that's super important, is developing your own style. You never want to just take what the teacher is saying and then think that you could just copy it down verbatim and get to the same result. Sometimes you got to do a little bit of thinking outside of the box. So that's what I mean about just developing your own style. Definitely still trust your coach, still do what it is that they want you to do. Do it in a way that works for you, if that makes sense. All right. And last but not least, topic number 5 is that it's all on you. Mixed martial arts, you know, boxing, kickboxing, jujitsu, all that stuff. It's a one-man sport, right? It's a one-man sport. Granted, your coach pulls up with you. You know, you got your training partners during your camp leading up to the fight and all that good stuff, right? Once you get there, your coach is outside of the gate, right? They can't come in there with you. If you decide not to listen to a word they're saying, that's on you, right? If you decide, you know, to throw all of your technique to the wind and lose all emotion and just go swinging for the fences, that's on you. No one can stop you in there except, you know, your opponent or the ref, right? So definitely remember that it's all on you, right? You're going to get in whatever, or you're going to get out whatever you put in, right? So like if you know deep down in your own heart that you could be going a lot harder, that may translate, right, into the fight. If you know that, hey, you've been giving it your all, if you feel the best you're gonna feel, then win or lose, you're gonna know where you stand and how you showed up, right? So super important just to remember that it is all on you. It's while there's a lot of things and people that may help you along the journey, it's ultimately your fight, right? Don't think of it as you're fighting against this guy, this opponent. You're fighting against yourself, right? The version of yourself that didn't have these skills in the past, right? Who wasn't at this level of like mental clarity, focus, skill, technique, right? So definitely remember, it's up to you. Keep your mind focused, keep your mind sharp, keep your body sharp, keep your spirit sharp, and you're gonna see a lot of success in mixed martial arts, right? You're gonna be able to have a lot of fun with it. I think if you remember these big topics, right, these 5 things: cardio, learning the basics, picking a good coach, developing your own style, remembering that it's all on you, I think you're going to be able to have a lot of fun in it, right? I highly recommend anyone who's on the fence about it or who's ever thought about it, go ahead and give it a try. It's nothing crazy to go ahead and spend a year, some change, just training, and then take a fight. You don't got to go straight for the title fight. Some super duper good guy with like all the wins and stuff like that. Take you a nice little entry level fight. See where you're at, and then from there, see what how confident you are in your skills, and if that's all you needed, hey, you're good to go. But I highly recommend it just for your own sake. But yeah, like I said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and post a part 2 to this very soon, where I'll talk like a little more in depth about some other things that I noticed and some other things that I learned that are super important as well. But for now, I'll give you this. If you guys got any questions, like I said, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. Go ahead and like, go ahead and subscribe, go ahead and share for your boy. And until next time on Coach Musa TV, bow, bow.